Another day gone, another record broken at the World Athletic Championship. Gerudo wins the women's 3000 meter steeplechase and becomes the fastest athlete in this event at WAC. India's Annu Rani qualifies for the finals of the women's javelin by pulling off a 59.6 meter throw in a final attempt. I have Sundeep, Misra and Amit Kamath in this News 9 special show with me. Let's see what they have to say about this. Sundeep, Annu started with a foul but gathered herself and qualified eventually. Did Annu keep her composure throughout? That was the reason. Was that the reason she was able to qualify?
Plus, you have to also understand that she has the experience. I mean, she's gone to the big competitions. I mean, this is her second consecutive in so many ways. All of that actually works out. And, you know, when it comes to things like the triple jump or the long jump, hammer, shot put or the javelin, the fouls are not a massive concern unless you're fouling consistently and there's something wrong with the run-up and all. One or two here and there usually go through. But the most important thing was, as you said, that the composure was there, she was able to handle the pressure. She knew that going into a consecutive World Championship final is also a big deal because it at least sets you up. It sets you up for a big one that you can start accomplishing in your mind that, you know, this is the day, this is the hour, this is where I have to go and do what I'm supposed to be doing, which is getting a good number out there. And yeah, let's hope that the final is something where she can unleash a good one and at least be a top 6 or a podium. I mean, you know, there are surprises.
After her qualification, News 9 exclusively had a talk with her and this is what she had to say.
Are you satisfied with your performance?
क्वालिफाई हो गया बट इतना अच्छा मतलब बॉडी रिस्पॉन्स नहीं था अच्छे से वार्म अप नहीं हुआ बॉडी का क्योंकि बाहर ग्राउंड नहीं है ना तो मतलब ऐसे हम लोग वार्म अप करते हैं तो बाहर अच्छे से करने के लिए नहीं था
संदा के थ्रो किया आपने
अभी परसों या तो अच्छा कर
इस साल का आपका आपने
63 किया है मैंने मेरे बेस्ट इस साल में और 3 कॉम्पिटिशन खेले हैं तो मैंने 62 प्लस किया
अभी जुलाई में भी आपने 62 प्लस किया।
हाँ जी अभी कुछ 15-20 दिन पहले एक कॉम्पिटिशन हुआ था चोला विस्टा में वहाँ पे मैंने 62.5 किया।
आपका ये 2019 से अच्छा तैयारी है?
हाँ तैयारी तो अच्छी है अभी लेकिन आज इतना अच्छा नहीं कर पाई बॉडी रिस्पॉन्स इतना अच्छा लेकिन पहले से ज्यादा फिट हूँ ज्यादा अच्छा थ्रो मैं ग्राउंड पे कर चुकी हूँ तो फाइनल में चलने की कोशिश करूँगी।
फाइनल में आप कितना एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं? कैसा फील था आज आपको? कैसे लगा?
आज तो बॉडी रिस्पॉन्स इतना अच्छा नहीं था बट हाँ मैं कोशिश करूँगी फाइनल में मेरा बेस्ट करने की।
63-82 से अच्छा?
हाँ मैं मेरा बेस्ट करने की।
Amit, we could clearly see that she wasn't satisfied with her throw, but she finished 8th overall. But where can we expect the 2019 Asian Athletics silver winner to end up in the final, Amit?
You know, if she comes anywhere close to her personal best, which is around 64 if I'm not mistaken, so 63, 64 if she throws, she might have a very good chance to be on the podium. Because as Neeraj Chopra has taught us anything, it's that on the day you really can't predict who comes from the left field and wins a medal and goes takes it home. So of course she must have been disappointed because her throw was she didn't even cross 60. I think in her first throw she did not even cross 55, which is why she deliberately stepped over the line and fouled that throw. So obviously, yes, she is disappointed, but then I think she has enough number of days to pick herself up, to find that extra edge that she needs. I think during her competition today, we saw her having a little chat with Neeraj's coach, Dr. Klaus Bartonietz, who I think he's like the javelin throw whisperer. He said something in her ear. We don't know what it was, but whatever it was clearly helped her, to throw much better than she did in her first throw. So in all her three throws, she got successively better.
Sandeep, what do you think? Where can she end up in the finals?
I think it's just about handling the pressure. Amit is right when he says that, you know, if you've done 63 plus, that's what you need to be aiming for. I know it's easy to say that, you know, you're going to get your personal best and you're going to be on a podium. But the World Championships are for that. The reason why you are there is because you, number one, you handle the pressure. Number two, you know that you can create history. And number three, inside you, you get that feeling that today is my day. My only worry is that when you look at that interview, and you know, the more you look at that interview, more you feel that the moment she says, you know, my body was not right and physically I was not fine, those are the first signs that you start feeling a little, you know, now the reason why you're there is because all of those should click in, and that's what you call peaking in so many ways. But yeah, athlete needs to feel right. I mean, you see so many athletes who've really not done well, whether it is India, whether it's world-class athletes, even this, all the events, you have some surprise or the other happening. One wishes that this particular thing that she's saying, that physically she is not there, that goes away. And she gets into the event very fast, because you need one or two throws. Okay, you get your momentum, but after that, you know what you're supposed to do. And yes, I mean, 63 plus should, let's put it safely, should guarantee a podium, the others, and anything
And
less.
she is capable of that.
She is capable. I mean, in 2014, I remember the Asian Games. She took out one when it was, you know, it was a surprising one, that when the bronze happened at that particular venue, and we were watching it, and everybody was suddenly surprised because she just, you know, threw and she was on the third. I mean, I think she was trailing at that point, if I'm right, and then suddenly bang, she was there on the podium. So if she can create something like that, and all of that is created by athletes, because again, it's all about aspirational, you know, how ambitious
Yeah, she
can you
wasn't
be?
satisfied today. That clearly means that she has bigger expectations, higher expectations from herself.
Yeah, the third answer was on that, you know, I hope I can do well in the final. But physically, she needs to be very extremely strong to be there. And she has to be there, because that's the only chance you're going to get. This is once in a 2-year thing, once in a 4-year phenomena. You better hold it right now, that way.
We also have interaction with Kashinath. Let's see what she has to say about Rani's performance.
अन्नू रानी को तो मैं तो नीरज से पहले से मैं जानता हूँ, क्योंकि वो मेरे पास 2013 से लेके 18 तक मेरे ही स्टूडेंट रही है। तो उसको एक एक चीज मैं उसको जानता हूँ। जब वो 2000 पहले बार जो 2017 में वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप खेल के आई थी, उस टाइम पे भी उसने 59.98 किया था, फाइनल नहीं पहुंच पाई थी, लेकिन 19 में फिर से फाइनल पहुंची थी, लेकिन जो थ्रो करना चाहिए वो कर नहीं पाई थी। और अगेन अभी 22 में फिर से वो लास्ट ओलंपिक्स में भी गई थी, लेकिन अभी फिर से वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप में अभी गई है और अभी फाइनल में पहुंची है। लेकिन मैं जिस तरीके से इस साल का उसका जो कॉम्पिटिशन को देखा हूँ, और ये श्योरली वे मेडल लेके आने के पास है वो चीज, क्योंकि आज के दिन जिस तरीके से जेवलिन का लीडिंग जो थे वो सब इतना अच्छा फॉर्म में नहीं है। जो एक पोलैंड की जो है लास्ट ईयर उसने 71 मीटर जैसे ओलंपिक्स में सिल्वर मेडल थी, तो वो भी इस साल वो बेस्ट ऑफ 12 से आउट हो चुकी है। तो और जिस तरीके से मैंने बात किया हूँ, तो मुझे ऐसा लगा कि इसने प्रैक्टिस में 65-60 मीटर थ्रो किया है, मेरे सुनने में आया था। तो वो श्योरली उतना वो जो प्रैक्टिस में उसने किया है 66 मीटर, तो वो कॉम्पिटिशन में करती है, तो श्योरली उसका अभी वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप में मेडल आएगा।
Kashinath is a renowned javelin coach, and he feels that she has the competence to do it because she threw a 66 in the practice. Let's see what she does. But now let's move on to the star of the nation, Neeraj Chopra, who will be in action on day 7 in the men's javelin throw event along with Rohit Yadav. Amit, just 21 days back, Chopra pulled off his best of 89.94. Amit, can we expect Chopra to bag a gold at the World Athletic Championship? And also, what does Yadav has to offer?
For Neeraj, again, it has to be one of those moments where he has to go until 90 meters. He's never crossed the 90-meter barrier. But in the World Championships, he will have guys who've crossed it. You have somebody like Andreas Hoffman, who not a lot of people consider him because, there is Thomas Roller, who's won the javelin throw gold at Rio. You have Johannes Vetter. He's the closest to breaching the world record throw. So under him, not a lot of people look at somebody like Andreas Hoffman. But Hoffman also, we should not forget that he's somebody who's crossed 90 meters. Then you have somebody like an Anderson Peters who's also done that this year itself. So for Neeraj, first of all, he'll need to cross that 90-meter mark, and then others will have to maybe slightly underperform for him to win a gold medal. Besides that, with the withdrawal of guys like Johannes Vetter and Thomas Roller from this competition, the pathway to Neeraj winning a medal is slightly easier. And that would be great news for him because finally, at the age of 24, he would have basically collected the whole set. He would have won the Olympic gold, Commonwealth gold, Asian Games gold, and the World Championships medal. But for knowing Neeraj, I think after he came back from Tokyo, one of the first things he said at his press conferences was, mark of a true champion is not winning a medal once, because anybody can, if they struggle hard enough, they will probably win a medal once. The true mark of a champion is winning the medals for the second time. So after the World Championships begins Neeraj's real-time journey where he starts the second lap of the circuit. And that is when we'll see whether he can actually, repeat it. As concerns Rohit, if you look at Rohit's, numbers over the last 3 or 4 years, he's somebody who's consistently thrown around the 78, 79 meter mark. And this year is the first time he's actually reached the 80 meter mark. So for him, it's going to be a completely different event, Neeraj, I think in 2017, when he was competing in his first World Championships, he's spoken about this very recently. He said that, he made the fatal mistake of taking qualifying too casually. So he actually did not qualify for the finals because he thought that he would easily qualify. And that is what he's been telling Rohit apparently, that don't take qualifying casually. Throw the best you can throw in qualifying so that you at least make the finals. For Rohit, tomorrow, it's going to be that's his race. He needs to make it to the final, experience the pressure that a final brings along, experience the game that the finals will be, and then maybe that, builds the building blocks to his career.
Neeraj received a lot of people were really happy when he won the gold and came back home. We just saw the videos, but there are some people back in US as well who are eagerly waiting for his throw. So let's see what they have to say about him.
I like sports basically. I mean, pretty much all kind of sports, but cricket and track and field. Staying in Eugene for such a long, more than 24 years, really got close to track and field events and athletes. So having World Championship track and field in Eugene is a very proud and great moment for us, for Indian community here, and having Indian team, and especially Neeraj Chopra, and we just met him a few days ago, and what a great guy.
I do follow Indian athletics very seriously, and I've been in Eugene for almost 25 years, but my roots are back in India. And we really enjoy that the Indian team has come to Eugene, this year for the World 2022 track and field meet. And it's really fun to see the team. We got to see a few players. We met Neeraj Chopra a few days back. It was really fun. And he was a real nice, gentle, humble person. He was all, ready to take pictures with us. We talked about his achievement in the Tokyo Olympics. And it was really fun talking to him.
We are super excited for it. I wish I could have a ticket to go to the stadium, but I don't, unfortunately. But we will be definitely going to the Riverfront Festival and watching him live on a bigger screen and really rooting for him and really hoping that he win and get another gold to bring home.
We are planning to most probably go to the Riverfront Park. They have a huge screen out there where we can watch the events in real time, and there are going to be a lot of other people out there. So it's really going to be fun, to be with the full crowd and cheer him and the entire India team when he goes for the qualifications.
I'm very excited. I will be at work while it's happening, so every few minutes when I have time, I'll watch it on my phone at work, trying to sneak away to watch it. But I'm very excited, and I hope you as well.
I believe a day before you met Neeraj Chopra also.
It was very nice. It was very sweet. was an amazing experience, and very kind person. I just asked him, I was like, "Are you excited for your event and how it felt, in Tokyo when he won gold?" And he told us about his experience. It was very nice.
Sundeep, as we could see, the fans have a lot of expectations from him, and it's highly likely that he will progress to the finals. But in the finals, who could be a tough competition for Chopra?
Almost all of them. I mean, that field of 12 is going to be, it's not going to be easy. We always feel that, okay, the top guys are not there, rollers not there, wetters not there. The pressure is the same. The pressure is always there because now the pressure is increased much beyond Tokyo. Tokyo, you were still going in, okay, you were a contender. Now you are a favorite. Now, even in the javelin community, you may be 1, 2, 3, 4 in there, but in this country, you are the favorite. In this country, you are the one who's going out there because you got to come back with a gold. Okay, fine, a silver and a bronze will still be massively exciting, but for all of us, it's going to be going for gold. So that pressure that he feels from the rest of them, whether it is a Walcott or whether it is a Peters or whether it is Yakub out there, Hoffman, all of these guys have thrown 90 plus.
But he hasn't touched 90, Sundeep.
Yeah, but that's not the issue. It will never be a problem in terms of whether he's touched 90 or not. Of course, it comes into your mind. It's a mental thing. But in a final, if you see the whole pattern, it's always the same. They go in very easy in the first ones. Most of them. They probably try and hit 86, 87, 88, 89, trying to build up that pressure. One wishes that he gets a 89 plus, he gets an 88 plus right at the beginning, because then that sets up the momentum, that sets up a lovely rhythm for any javelin thrower, irrespective of whoever it is. So the pressure is going to be massive for all of them. The one person who gets that 90, then the others start following. Then it gets exciting, because who's going to get? It's almost like the high jump. That day Amit was speaking about the high jump, and how it kind of cranks up 31, 32, 33, 35, 37. As it goes up, the pressure builds up. The pressure starts building up. Whoever remains, and whether it is a javelin throw, whether it is a long jump, or whether it is a 3000 steeplechase or a 800 or a 1500, it's that group that comes in at the end. You may have a massively shocking, surprising one. Suddenly somebody who's on 84 suddenly unleashes a 90 or an 89 in the end.
Yeah.
It's like the Chinese long jumper, whatever happened.
Wrong.
And then suddenly everything goes haywire. But I still feel that this particular field is going to go according to reputation. So if you go with that, if you just go with the reputation of who's won medals where, I think Chopra is going to be up there, and I think mentally he's there. He's understood the game, and that's what makes you a champion. If you wouldn't have understood the game, I don't think he would have been on the podium in Tokyo. Right. He would have still been under pressure. He has understood the game as to where.
And right now he's at the top of his game. Just 21 days back, 89.94.
He is. Yeah. He's not probably done what he could have. They all hold back. This is where you need to show it. This is where you need to hit the 90. You need to stand and get that gold medal. The country wants it. It's as simple as that.
Even Kashinath has something to say about Neeraj. Let's see what's his opinion.
नीरज जो है अभी जिस तरीके से लास्ट 2 कॉम्पिटिशन में अपना बेस्ट अचीवमेंट दिया है, तो रिकॉर्ड नेशनल रिकॉर्ड को ब्रेक किया है, तो श्योरली वो जो है अभी वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप में भी 90 मीटर अबव थ्रो करके फिर से नेशनल रिकॉर्ड भी बना सकता है और गोल्ड मेडल भी वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप में लेने का पूरा हकदार है वो नीरज। वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप में जो है वेटर अभी इंजर्ड की वजह से वो कंपटीशन में नहीं खेल रहा है। तो अभी नीरज के साथ में कंपटीशन में एंडरसन जो है अभी जो इस साल का लीडिंग में चल रहा है, जो 90 मीटर किया है, जो लास्ट वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप का गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट रहा है, तो उसके साथ में वॉलकट है या अपना जूलियस वेबर, बाकी ये सभी है। लेकिन देखा जाए तो जो कंपटीशन में लगातार जो अचीवमेंट जैसे नीरज के साथ में भी पीटरसन ने भी कंपटीशन खेला लास्ट में, वो मगर जो नीरज जो कर सकता है मतलब वो चीज़ वो नहीं कर पाया। तो आई होप मतलब श्योरली जो है नीरज गोल्ड मेडल ले सकता है। हाँ, उस तरीके से उसका पहले से ही है कि प्रेशर फील नहीं होना चाहिए। कभी भी आप पहला थ्रो कर लोगे तो आपको प्रेशर फील नहीं रहेगा। अदरवाइज क्या होगा कि प्रेशर होगा कि अगले वाला वो कितना मारेगा, ये वो सब चीजें हो रहता है। लेकिन इसमें जब हमने अपना पहले अटेम्प्ट में हम तो कर लेते हैं अच्छा, तो हमारे ऊपर कोई प्रेशर नहीं रहता, तो ये चीज अच्छा है।
Kashinath feels that Neeraj can win the gold. Let's see what happens. Now, quickly, let's have a glance at the big events of day 6. Sundeep, Gerudo sets record at the World Athletic Championship as she finished the 3000 meter steeplechase in merely 8 minutes and 53.02 seconds.
But yeah, you got to look at it tactically. You know, I mean, we've been discussing middle distance for so many times now. It's almost become like a, you know, a favorite topic.
And she took an early lead, but she maintained that lead till the end of the race. So, what was that tactic, Sundeep?
I think the main thing was that there were exchanges happening between the first four, you know, at least between the first two, which went on. But I still maintain that point that, especially when you have a group of 4 or 5 that are coming into the last of the water jumps. Listen, the water jump, if you really look at it, just imagine a water jump. You can't have 4 going over it smoothly. You always have the first 2 and then the next 2. The race, when you are in a group, if it's not 2 or 3, if it's a group of 4 or 5, the race is always for the last hurdle, for last water jump, not the last hurdle. The water jump is the most, that's the big issue for all of them, because at that time you are fading out. You're not physically at your strongest. That is where Gerudo actually ran. She wanted the first one. The moment you keep your balance, you know that you're on the other side, the stride pattern follows after that. The rest of them couldn't. That is where she clinched it. I think the group of 4 were all going for the water jump. They knew that if they have to beat her, they will have to go first over the water jump and then go for the last pace. You know, that whole sprint that followed.
Final dash.
Yeah. The final dash was hers. They didn't give it to her. I mean, she was so good that she actually, if you really see that last bit, she was second. Then she suddenly goes up because she knows the importance of the water jump at that point of time. And then once she's over there, how do you beat her on the sprint? It's virtually impossible to beat her on the sprint. So in that way, it was superb to watch, because you kept watching and then you knew that the water jump will become the most crucial area out there.
Amit, it was the first time that the medal winners completed the race before the 9-minute mark. It was a really fast race, Amit, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we were expecting this because in the heats, I think Gerudo ran a blistering pace of 9 minutes, 1 second, 1.54 seconds, which, if I am not mistaken, it's the second fastest time ever run at a World Championships. So that just tells you that she was in prime form coming into the finals. Obviously, when she took the lead, and this race was something that was in completely direct contrast to what we saw in the men's race, which I think was probably the slowest steeplechase race that we've seen, because you had all of those guys. Nobody wanted to take the take the attack to the opponents. Bakali was somebody who was very comfortable sitting in the middle of the pack, and then made his move only with like 400 or 300 meters left. As opposed to that, you had Gerudo, who was consistently at the top of the field and consistently
from the
running.
very start.
Correct. So when that happens, the rest of them are also forced to give her a chase, run at the best of their abilities, which is what we saw the top 3 guys finishing under the 9-minute mark. And when you look at the impact of this race, when you look at the world lists, as in the all-time fastest times, all 3 of these runners, the first, second and third, have finished 3rd, 4th and 5th on the all-time list. That's how fast this race was.
Right. Let's move on to the 400 meters semi-final event now. We have 8 finalists now in the finals. Sundeep, Michael Norman, he completed it in 44.30. He was the fastest among all of them. Is the US athlete capable of maintaining the same rhythm in the finals?
Of course. I mean, if you really ask in terms of 1, 2, 3, maybe you're going to have a Norman, Allison, and then you're probably going to have James. Now,
Kirani James.
Yeah. Now, Kirani was a world champion in 2011. Then he won the Olympic gold in 2012. Then he picks up a silver in 2016 at the Olympics. Picks up a bronze in Tokyo. So the graph is coming down for Kirani. But if you really look at the semi-finals, go through all the three, he probably was the most comfortable. I'm talking comfortable from the point of the finish, comfortable from the point that in the last 30-40 meters he was coasting. Of course, the field probably in one of the semi-finals of his was not as strong as the one with Norman. But emotionally, I may make him a favorite, because watched him, he's been a massive inspiration in terms of a 400-meter run. When you want to watch a classic, you probably think it's Kirani who you would want.
But it's been quite long since he has bagged a gold.
Yeah, and then he's been off and on not well, physically. So a lot of that will come in. But the look on his face after the semi-final, that smile that he had, you probably think that, okay, fine, he's probably going to put that extra stride into this. Though Kirani James is not a favorite, but it will not be surprising if he can pick himself, and in the last 10 meters, if he can be there on the line, then it's very difficult to beat him, because he has the experience of understanding what the last 10 meters means in a 400. But Norman at this moment of time seems the one who will probably outwit all of them.
Kirani it is. Amit, what's your pick?
Of course, I think it's very difficult to look beyond Michael Norman given the runs that he's had. And for him, it would also be a fitting finish, to win on top and get a medal, because he's been somebody who's been touted to be a medalist at all these global events for a while now. Although he's just 24, but then he's always had some or the other issues, some injury. I think at Tokyo he finished 5th, if I'm not mistaken. So he's always had, this so near yet so far thing with his running. So if he wins this at home, in front of home fans, that would be, I think, a fitting way to kickstart what could be a great career.
Let's see who wins the 400-meter final sprint. Also, all eyes will be on Neeraj Chopra tomorrow morning at sharp 5:35 a.m. in the Group B of Javelin throw qualifications. We have a lot of expectations from Chopra, and his recent form suggests that he wouldn't disappoint. That's it from this episode. Thank you so much, Sundeep and Amit. If you liked our analysis, then don't forget to like and share. And to get a notification whenever we upload a video, press the bell icon. We'll be back with more interesting news, insights, facts and figures from the World Athletic Championship. Until then, keep watching News 9. This is Hardik Agrawal signing off.